white t-shirt, a kid who kind of looked like a little bit, not, I can't even say he looked like in the face, it's just the way his movements, that's the only thing I can remember about this person. And the block sign, why he was laughing about fucking me over. Now, I find that interesting. And, I'm completely fucked over. So this went over a little bit, and there's really not very much more to say with all of that. That is the big main part. I'm over the 30 something minutes that, but the big main part is that is a lot of what is going through my head. But then it's because of that I started to, I gotta sit down, and it's because of that. I hope I don't turn this off. So with the big main thing being that's what's in my head right now, because I feel sad about what happened to my friend's family, and I don't have any way to exactly tell them some of the things that are going through my head right now about memories that they were not there for, but things that happened around the time that certain things took place, that it's interesting. From one location they were not there for, but then if they remember the conversation that we had on a very special type of day, they'll know that there's truth there. It's just not the right time to bring some of this up to them. Hi, man. It's like I could care less about so many pieces of crud. I really could, because there's so many people out there that are just so freaking messed up. That's it. You could say that the world messed them up. You could say that, but they really are, like, as nasty and as angry and as all of those things that I've come off in these videos I've made. And some of the things that I talk about, it's like, what do you choose to believe? Because most people only choose to believe the bad, no matter how honest you are about it. And I started to go back in my memory, and this whole thing has just shaken me on what seemingly on the surface would be a heavy biased level, a possible racist level, and then it's like, because it's the things that I know now and the memories that are coming to me now that I remembered from these things taking place, being at a said location for a celebration of a person close to me, and then here and there, and the little bits and pieces that are all starting to form in my head from knowing, like, okay, that's what they were explaining at that point in time, which was never explained further than that, which had almost nothing and yet probably everything to do with me. And if not everything, so close to. Because it wouldn't just be me in the selfish sense, it would be way more than. So, I got an answer at this point with one of the major questions in my head, because I started to dissect. Literally, at this point, I started writing things somewhat down of events that took place, instead of just keeping it in my head for so long with no actions taken in the right way that they should have been taken. And there are some reasons why certain things were let to be gone, and other things that should have been stopped a long time ago. But it's like even the ones, like that's where I'm saying, it's like, well, where did my life seemingly, as much as the overall emotion of where my life should have gotten so much better than what it had been, and there's this just never ending, why is nothing seemingly going the right way? Ever? It's like, when I thought about these things in the past, my memories were at a certain point where I thought those memories for that place began. And it was after this that I remembered there were more memories. There was one other memory, but that's where it stopped. And I was like, whatever. It's like, although I've already brought that up in videos too, it's like all of this is now way more explained, in the sense that now I see what's really heavily going on. And that's why I started to bring up, like, how I seen some people do what seemingly is the evilest things, and or understood that they did and had done evil things. And it's like, until I realized the evilness of other men that they were going up against. So I am making these videos, and still been making these videos, and that's why it was the never-ending bombardment without. In other words, if I would have done anything the right way, in this place, there supposedly there isn't an actual right way. They look at things as a two-sided whole, but the way that they do it is wrong. They have to rely, just like God had to rely on the hand of the person that was putting the words from God into the Bible. There are people who wrote the Bible, You see, just a simple car horn, it fucks me up in the head. It really does. It completely does. I'm not even joking. This is the level of freaking. This is the level of PTSD, ongoing PTSD. Okay. PTSD is like you hear a fucking bomb go off and fucking you have flashbacks of a fucking war. Okay, it is not fucking almost every fucking word coming out of a fucking human being's mouth or a fucking sound of fucking normalcy. Fuck you, you motherfucking fucking fuckers. I'm gonna. Ooh. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. You have no fucking idea what the fuck has been done to me at this fucking point in time, and I feel so bad for the fucking people who have had other things done to them, some of which they fucking totally deserved. Other things they did not deserve from other people in other places, and fucking holy fucking shit, you mother fucking coward pieces of crap. Wow. All the things that were written wrong. There are not supposed to be if I had any real friends in my life that weren't wow. There's that's how simple that is. That is what real fucking ongoing PTSD looks like. In my case. So I keep my head down. I do not fucking try to engage in most conversations with people I don't know. Because if that happens, I will fucking kill you. And I know that there's people who have seen these videos prior to me making them that may or may not be fucking trying to imitate what the fuck it is that I am. I was born with the marks of Jesus Christ. I have had the most absolutely insane experience on planet Earth, and not in a good way, that you could imagine. And when I say that I have seen even demons look at everything around me, and I have seen even they turn into better people just from seeing what they haven't even come across in a massive way. That is or said so-called demons, because that is the whole tree of life and tree of death. And it's not exactly a tree of death, because without a good tree of life and without a good tree of death, if the tree of life isn't there, the tree of death will soon fade too. So, when it says in the Bible, and I just also came across a more non-Bible version of, more like movie set, type things, movies. And it's saying that, the last person, even though they were quoting the Bible, the last person or entity that Jesus would go up against is death itself. And that's what this whole war has been over. And some of the people that are in the war are not good people, even though they have power. And I smell like shit because they just wanted to keep fucking with me on every single freaking level humanly possible. And I have met the devil. I have met Lucifer, Satan. I have met angels, scribes, in the spiritual form, in the human form, in the vessels that we are when they are present. And it was not normal in the sense of what most people would consider normal. You can look at me as an angry person or a vile person or a sinful person all you want. That does not change the marks that I was born with. That does not change who, even without the marks, I am. I have lost my train of thought, which wasn't actually a train. There's just so much to it. No matter how many times I told these so-called people what type of issues I was dealing with, or this and that, it's just so interesting that if I said apple juice gives me, for some reason, a high fever, the only thing I would be offered is fucking apple juice. You know something? I don't know what, because I can drink apple juice. I just can't drink it all the time. It is very, very freaking weird. It is a weird allergy. And it's not an allergy as much as I run a high fever of close to 106 degrees, and that has happened too many times. And yeah, for some reason, drinking apple juice, Yeah, and that could be fatal. And it's just funny, the people that were like, well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It's like, wow, if I would have known at that point to literally disseminate those people, um, body part for body part, out of the existence, and whatever, if I would have known how to extract their souls and feed them to their supreme dark lord, I would have done that. What I was saying about the devil and Lucifer and Satan, and it's not exactly what people think, um, as much as other videos I've went into, and that this is a proving grounds uh, for heaven or hell. And yet hell, if I was to say even hell, has some system. It's like, it says in the Bible that the fallen angels fought with God and were downcasted out of heaven, and that is because with all of what they knew, they still challenged God's knowingness. And that is where I've went up against the most vicious of the fallen angels, and yet I wonder to myself, like, what was the other part? What was I seeing in certain situations? Because even the demons, that some of them, or supposedly well, they are demons. It's a different, it's different than what is to be understood. It's like, God didn't destroy completely, because he gave them a second chance without telling them. Prove him wrong. He does not want to be bothered with the same problem he's already dealt with for someone else. He does not want to. You challenged God, and he doesn't want to be bothered with what you attempted to do, which was be God. That's how simple that is. And yet he has had to step in with the angels in situations which he's seen as them attempting to understand their own free will. The angels, they feel that they don't have free will because they already know what is right and what is wrong. So therefore, this is what started the war in heaven, because they wanted to know why they had to bow to human beings. And maybe it has become clear to some, and maybe it hasn't been clear to others. And there are those who don't care. This world is going to choke itself out by the amount of rules. Which is fine. I'm done talking here. Like I said, it's people who are trying to reverse engineer what is, only to rebuild it again to what is. God's forgiveness is so much more than what people can comprehend on his level. And yet, look at what this world has done to Jesus Christ. So, I don't remember if there was a third point talking about one thing and then going into another. And I really am past the point of, the people that are there to pretend help. Because after being in a place where I was kidnapped when I was 4, and then almost killed when I was about 17-ish or so. And if this isn't the place, no, this is the place. And if it's not, it's real close to where this is, because I'm saying to myself, wow, memories that I blocked completely out of my head, which wasn't all my doing, due to the extensive, and that is where the truth comes in, the extensive drugging of insanity. I would much have preferred like cocaine and normal drugs that are, not so normal to other people, but I would have preferred those instead of becoming a walking fucking nuclear goddamn fucking reactive time bomb battery, okay? Yo. Oh, wow. It's like, oh, that's cool. I can turn my radio on without me fucking being in the radio, without a remote. That's awesome. That's so great. That's wonderful. Oh, look, I can change the channels too. I wasn't actually, I was halfway saying that why it was happening, but now I'm saying to myself, yeah, I was like, wow. It's like I wanted the channel changed, just like in the channel change. That's so okay. So who's doing that? You know what I'm saying? Walking up the block. All the lights are going out on the one side, so then I'm like, all right. I'm like, who's doing this? I'm like, nah, this is a part of my imagination. I'm like, let me go on the other side of the block. It's like, oh, now all of a sudden these lights are going out. I'm like, all right, motherfuckers, if I'm going to get jumped, I ain't getting jumped like that. So let me just walk up the center of the block. And then it was just poof, 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 poof. I'm like, wow, this is getting fucking interesting, man. What the fuck? He doesn't have his hands in his pockets. We don't know why the radios are so loud in the store. Do you have a cell phone? Do you have a beeper? Do you have freaking something that's on you? It's like, can I see it? It's like, right? It's like, He's not doing nothing. What the fuck? I don't understand. It's like, it's you guys. It's you guys messing with this shit. Being yelled at for sitting near power stations. I started getting told, don't, you're not allowed here. I was like, what do you mean? I'm on public property at this point. It's like, you're not allowed here. It's like, there's a fence. There's a fence. I'm not even on the other side of the fence. There's a fence. There's a fence there. There's a fence. There's a fence. And this is the trail. And fucking, and then I'm 30 feet, 40 feet away from the fucking fence. It's like, and then fucking things, there's another 20 feet after the fucking fence. What do you mean I'm not allowed here? Fuck you. Wow. Yeah, no, I was a walking nuclear fucking device of destruction. That's crazy. All right, that's the end of the video because it's like I'm done with the bullshit and I am ready to bash somebody's fucking head in if they fucking because now that I am on because you know what there was the third part of this video. The third part of this video was to go into where it's like all this insanity was jammed into a very, very interesting in the beginning of the well actually where the fuck was the beginning. Then that's why I had to go all the way back to the minute I was freaking born basically, and I'm like, wow, so it's like, something, it's like but in the meantime it's like, well, where did my life turn into like absolute bullshit? And I'm saying to myself, wow, when my life should have gotten really, really good, that's when my life turned into absolute bullshit because the level of bullshit picked up to enormous levels of guano. This is guano so high to the fucking cave ceiling that the bats had to actually at that point leave the fucking belfry, okay? Because they were like, the bullshit has reached an extreme level where if we keep this, and then it's like we won't be able to leave and we need to go find a new home. And this is where it's like I'm saying to myself, do not get that fucking misconcurred why I'm saying I am in a house where not only did they try to kidnap me when I was 4 and my cousin when he was 3, but then they tried to kill me later on in the same fucking house when I was about 17 or so, close to around about. And now somehow, some way, due to magical fucking bullshit, then when I say magical bullshit, I mean like, just the freaking sheer never endingness of the freaking absolute crap of other people